Hello, dear friend, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for September 13 through 19. This week, we have a few important things happening. Mars is changing signs, which is important. Mars is staying in one sign for almost 2 months, and that changes the way we take action, how courageous we are, how willing we are to take some risks. So that is something important. Also, keep in mind that this is the last week before Mercury turns retrograde. Mercury is about to go retrograde starting from next week, the 20th of September, which also means that towards the end of the week, especially during the weekend, Mercury will be really slow, and that can change a little bit how things are happening, especially how fast they are. And even when it comes to communication, we might notice some kind of changes or something more unexpected, especially around the weekend. There is also an opposition between the Sun and Neptune, which is quite significant, and it may bring some kind of complications, something that we are not seeing clearly. There could be a confusion or lack of focus or lack of clarity. So we need to be careful with this one. And also towards the end of the week, Venus will have a square with Saturn. And this could be challenging for our relationships, for negotiations, for all things emotional and personal. With that being said, let's get started with Monday. On Monday, things are not extremely active. We basically don't have any exact aspects except for the moon. The moon is in Sagittarius, which overall is supportive for long-term planning, for something more optimistic and positive as an idea or an experience that we may have. And overall, the aspects of the moon are positive, especially the one with Jupiter and Mercury. It can be great for planning, for learning, for some kind of exploration, and overall for something positive as an idea and vision that we may have. There is a square with Neptune and the Sun, so there may also be something a little bit confusing or unclear, so we need to be careful with that. But overall, it is a nice beginning of the week. After that, on Tuesday, we have Mars ingressing Libra. And as we already said, Mars will stay there for almost 2 months. It's important to understand that Mars in Libra is not strong. Mars is ruling the opposite sign of Aries. And this is a pretty unfamiliar area for Mars. And we may find ourselves lacking impulses or feeling the need to verify and validate our ideas. We may ask others for support or help. And overall, this is a nice position if you want to do something in a partnership with someone else. And overall, it can bring more patience, but also some hesitation. And overall, when Mars is in Libra, we are not so willing to take risks. We prefer things to be safe and well planned, and especially if there's someone else who can support us, that's even better. Also, the Sun is having the opposition with Neptune on Tuesday, which can bring the possible confusion or lack of clarity, or something that could be misleading, something we might forget, sometimes even a mistake that can be made. So be careful. Tuesday may not be so productive, especially because of this aspect. The Sun also has a minor challenging aspect with Saturn, which can delay things, can make them even more challenging, or in a way we need to work really hard for the things that we want to accomplish. On the other side, there is a minor challenging aspect between Mars and Uranus. And this aspect may bring lack of patience and the desire to do things and to maybe do something radical, something exciting, something different. And sometimes that's actually great. That's something that can move the needle and help us to go in a new direction. But there's also the chance that the other aspects can slow us down, and they just require more time, more patience, more being more precise. And this Mars-Uranus is just pushing us in the opposite direction. So it could be quite frustrating, and we might make some impulsive decisions or take some impulsive actions. So Tuesday is really kind of a heavy combination. And I would recommend you to perhaps avoid something which is really important for you, maybe schedule for another day of the week, and just be a little bit more patient with things on Tuesday. The moon is in Capricorn, which can additionally slow things and can kind of like make us a little bit more pessimistic perhaps. So overall, the day requires lots and lots of patience. On Wednesday, Mercury is having a minor challenging aspect with the nodes. And the North Node is actually currently ruled by Mercury. The North Node is in Gemini. So it's not a really problematic aspect. It's more an aspect which requires rethinking something or re-evaluating something or looking at things from a different perspective, especially when it comes to the future. The North Node is about our future direction, where we can grow, where we can move to. And we may need to analyze things in a different way and perhaps make some new plans. In terms of communication, things may not be very easy or productive, so be aware of that. But on the other side, the moon is in Capricorn, and it may turn out to be also a productive day, especially for work or business activities or anything else that requires more patience and more of this grounded earth energy. On Thursday, we do have a great aspect between the Sun and Pluto, and this may feel very differently. This can empower us and make us really enthusiastic and passionate about something and dedicated and committed. It's very beneficial for business activities, for work, for anything that also requires support from authority figures or some kind of work that's related also to government institutions. All of that can be very, very successful on Thursday. And when it comes to financial situations and decisions, the day is pretty interesting. This Sun-Pluto aspect is supportive for big projects, for big investments, or something which includes managing other people's resources. So for the big money, so to speak, the day is beneficial. For personal finances or expenses or purchases, it can be trickier because Venus has a minor challenging aspect with Neptune. So we can get kind of confused or make a mistake, or we may overspend, and probably it will be because we are emotionally triggered. So for kind of like smaller or personal financial decisions, be careful and keep in mind that your emotions might be kind of like taking control. The Sun also has a quincunx with Jupiter, and this aspect can require some kind of readjustment when it comes to our goals. long-term plans, our vision. So there might be some changes during this day, but overall, this aspect is also beneficial for expansion and succeeding and can be helpful. The moon is in Capricorn during the early morning. So if you need to schedule something and be really dedicated and focused and concentrated on that, early morning can be a good time for this. But after 11 a.m., the moon shifts to Aquarius. And this can help you to be more innovative, to find interesting solutions, to explore things from a new perspective. So if you need more flexibility, more creativity, then after 11 a.m., you may feel better. And overall, usually there is a relaxation once the moon shifts from Capricorn to Aquarius. On Friday, we have this challenging aspect between Venus and Saturn. And first of all, it's kind of unfavorable for our relationships and in terms of personal life and dates and romance. Unfortunately, this is not a beneficial time. There could be perhaps some kind of disappointment or something that is more hurtful, but keep in mind that we may also over-dramatize or take everything too personally, because currently Venus is in Scorpio, and Venus in Scorpio totally does that. And it could be us also who are participating in this, and unintentionally, of course, we may end up hurting ourselves because we dramatize. So try not to take things too personally. Consider the feelings of other people, of course. And in terms of financial decisions and business, the day may also be kind of difficult or more disappointing. The moon is in Aquarius, which may help with having a little bit more objective perspective and also to communicate with others or perhaps explore different perspectives. Aquarius is a sign which can look at things from above. And if we manage to connect to this energy, it could be easier for us. But keep in mind that the moon being in Aquarius triggers even more Saturn. So the limitations of Saturn might be even stronger. So overall, Friday would not be the best time for a date or a party or honestly anything romantic. Okay, Saturday comes with a quincunx between Mercury and Neptune, and this is a very interesting aspect for creativity, for our imagination, for having the vision about something new. Pay attention to your dreams or to some kind of insights that may show up, and trust your intuition. We need to know also that the quincunx is an aspect that at first may bring something more challenging perhaps, or a little confusing, or we may need to clarify our ideas or whatever we want to work on, but eventually things can move in a positive direction. The moon will be in Aquarius until 4 p.m. So it is a nice time for socializing, for spending time with friends. All kinds of group initiatives and activities are also beneficial. And after 4 p.m., the moon will move to Pisces. And this can inspire you and bring you even more ideas. Your imagination can be even more vivid. And it's a great time for relaxation or for doing something more creative. And Sunday, the moon will be in Pisces and will have a trine with Venus. This is a very positive aspect for relationships, for dates, for creative activities, for even for financial decisions. The moon is having also a nice aspect with Uranus, so some nice surprises may show up, something unexpected, something that can be quite creative as an idea. But remember, we said that Mercury is turning retrograde on the 20th. So at this point, towards the weekend, especially on Sunday, Mercury is stationary. So be careful with plans, with information, with communication, technology, and all of that, because something may not be as you have planned it. So this is our weekly horoscope. If you want to learn more about astrology, we have so many free resources on marsstars.net. We are currently also enrolling students for our main training on foundational astrology and the advanced mentorship group. You can check the links in the description. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at support@marsstars.net. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.